If you want the same kind of local-first workflow setup on your own machine, check out Conductor.com. Conductor works with the coding agents already in your current setup. It runs fully local, and I'll show the repo plus native coding agent screenshots later in this video. This might be one of the most instantly understandable creator tools I've seen all week. Someone open-sourced a MacBook teleprompter that sits right under the notch, so instead of glancing down at notes or off to a second screen, you keep your eyes close to the camera while you talk. No iPad balance behind your laptop. No weird DIY rig. No $200 teleprompter hardware for a problem that should have been solved by software. And what makes this post good is that it does not need a long explanation. You look at the clip for 3 seconds and you get it. The notch becomes the prompter. That is the whole pitch. But the reason I think this is worth breaking down is bigger than the gadget factor. It is a really clean example of a small workflow product solving one specific pain point so well that the demo basically markets itself. If you record videos, jump on sales calls, run demos, do interviews, or even just present in meetings, you already know the problem. The moment your eyes drift down to notes, people feel it. Even if your words are good, the delivery gets worse. You look less confident, less direct, less present. That is why creators buy teleprompter rigs, prop up tablets, or try to memorize bullet points and hope they do not lose the thread halfway through recording. The annoying part is that the camera on a MacBook is already fixed in the one place that matters most, the top center of the display. So the real challenge is not where the lens is. It is getting text close enough to that lens that your eye movement still feels natural. That is why this idea lands. It is not trying to reinvent video software. It is just exploiting geometry better than the usual setup. Let's walk through the actual clip, because this is the proof section. It opens on a clean desktop with a black prompter panel tucked directly under the notch area. The first thing on screen says, "Ready to prompt." Press start to begin countdown. That one line already tells you the product is built for fast record and retry workflows, not some bloated studio app. Then the script starts scrolling. You can clearly read lines like, "Today I'm testing this teleprompter, and if you can read this smoothly, it's working." The point of the copy is simple, but smart. It is literally demonstrating the product while describing the product. A few seconds later, the settings window opens, and this is where the post gets much stronger. Now you can see that this is not just a floating text bar. There is a proper controls panel with start, reset, jump back 5 seconds, import, export, estimated read time, and the full editable script. Lower down there are controls for speed, presets, font, width, height, and countdown. Most important, there is a visible privacy mode setting that says it limits screen sharing capture. That is a killer detail for the audience this product wants. If you are doing calls, demos, recordings, or screen shares, that promise matters almost as much as the eye contact angle itself. Then the demo shows the countdown inside the prompter and loops back into the reading view. So by the end of 34 seconds, the post has already sold the placement, the controls, the setup flow, and the creator use case. Now for the official substance behind the clip. The public GitHub repo for NotchPrompt describes it as a lightweight macOS teleprompter for creators, educators, and sales professionals. The repo says the overlay is designed to stay invisible on common screen sharing and recording apps using native macOS window behavior. It also lists 3 control modes: voice, auto, and manual. The repo highlights a bunch of features that line up with what we actually saw in the clip, things like cue markers, hover to pause, a script editor, adjustable visual settings, and install options through release downloads or homebrew. That is important because it means the post is not just a flashy mock-up. There is a real product surface behind it, and the demo is showing believable controls from an actual working app. I would still be careful not to overlay the privacy behavior without testing every capture path myself, but as a product story, the repo and the clip line up well. This is the bigger lesson. A lot of software founders chase giant categories and vague platform narratives. Meanwhile, some of the best breakout products are just brutally specific. One pain point, one audience, one demo that explains itself in seconds. NotchPrompt is a good example of that. It takes a hardware quirk that most people ignore, the MacBook notch, and turns it into the entire interface advantage. That is strong product thinking. The notch stops being dead space and becomes the reason the tool exists. And the post itself is doing another smart thing. It is not drowning people in specs. It starts with the outcome: better eye contact, Less awkward note reading, no extra hardware. Then it backs that up with a visual proof sequence. That is how good product demos spread. They compress the value into something people can evaluate instantly. Zooming out, this is also why local-first workflow tools keep getting more interesting. The best tools feel close to the machine, close to the user, and close to the actual job. NotchPrompt works because it is tightly integrated with the device and the recording workflow. It is not pretending to be a huge everything app. It solves one moment well. That is also the same philosophy behind Conductor OSS at conductoros.com and the public repo at github.com/sharonix06/conductoross. I'll show the repo, the dashboard, and the native Claude Code, Codex, and Gemini launch screenshots on screen here. Conductor works with the coding agents already in your setup, and it runs fully local, which is exactly why it feels practical instead of over-engineered. Different category, same principle. The winners are the products that fit directly into the work people are already doing and remove friction without forcing a giant behavior change. If you want more breakdowns like this, subscribe. And if you want a local agent command center that works with the coding agents already in your current setup, go to conductoros.com and check the open source repo at github.com/sharonix06/conductoross. Fully local, real workflows, and way less fluff.